this week we are staying in a tiny home on the Oregon coast, and I am so excited for this week's video and just this experience in general. I have been wanting to stay in a tiny house for probably years now, and this is the first one that we've ever stayed in. Already, it's super cute and way bigger inside than I thought it would be. We are at Tranquility Tiny Homes in Waldport, Oregon. It is a tiny home community center, and they have several tiny homes that you can rent for the night. They also have permanent residents that live here, but I will show you probably tomorrow when it stops raining a tour of the facilities and then a tour of the tiny home. We are staying in Seafoam, which I think is absolutely adorable, both the name and the tiny home itself. My husband and I are considering living tiny in the near future, and so this year we want to stay and tour as many tiny homes as we can so we can get a good idea of what works for us and what doesn't. What I really loved about this one is the sleeping loft. It has a cute caravan cottage feel to it with a queen size bed. It overlooks the main living area without being lofted. There's a few stairs, but it's not like on a ladder, which I don't think we would like to do. And it has a full-size closet, which is really awesome. You don't really find that too much in a tiny home. Walking in, I was surprised at how spacious it was. I wasn't sure if it would feel cramped at all since I had never actually been in a tiny home, but it's a very big space. I don't have a tape measure, so I'm not sure if it's an 8-foot or a 10-foot. I'm thinking it's an 8-foot, but I'll grab the tape measure tomorrow and measure for sure. But yeah, I think since it is kind of stormy tonight, Charlotte and I are going to hunker down and watch a movie and make some dinner. Oz had to work, unfortunately, today and tomorrow morning, so he's going to join us tomorrow once he's off, and so we will spend one night together, but tonight it's just Charlotte and I. But I better let you go because she is begging me for treats and she won't stop until I give her something. So have a good night, and I will see you guys in the morning. Seafoam is a spacious 8.5 by 30-foot tiny home. The front door opens up into a bright, airy kitchen complete with a sink, 3-burner stove, microwave, apartment-sized fridge, and plenty of storage for pantry items and cooking supplies. Across the kitchen is the entryway, with room for coat storage and shelving for books and miscellaneous items. Next to the kitchen is a full bathroom with a shower stall, small sink and vanity area, and toilet. There is also plenty of storage for towels and other toiletries. Off the kitchen is the living dining area. The space is both light from the clear-story windows, but still feels very private from prying eyes. There's plenty of room in the living area to spread out for different activities. There's also a great cozy reading nook below the bedroom. Last but not least is the bedroom overlooking the rest of the tiny home. There's room for a full-size bed and closet. There's also extra storage beneath the bed for larger, bulkier items. Tiny Tranquility is a tiny house and vintage RV park located along the Oregon coast, just outside of Waldport. There are 12 rental units and several full-time residents. They have a gated dog park for your furry companions. The Redwood Commons has a full-size kitchen, spacious living room, and sweeping views of the Pacific. The Douglas Fir Lodge consists of a living space with fire stove, a work eating bench, pool and ping pong tables, library, theater room, washer and dryer, and a play area for kids. There is also a patio area with barbecues and fire pits. It's now Monday. It's now Monday, our last day at the tiny house. Oz came in at about 2:30 yesterday, and then we had a snack and took Charlotte on a walk. We explored the property here, and then we watched a movie. It was Downsizing with Matt Damon, which seemed appropriate since we were staying at a tiny house, and then we went to bed about 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
But yeah, so today we are packing up and are just about to head out for the day, but we wanted to wrap up our experience before we go and answer some Q&A questions for each other. So, question number 1.
All right.
What were your overall impressions of staying in a tiny house?
My overall impressions of staying in a tiny house are positive. I definitely didn't come in with any preconceived ideas, at least in this case. I felt that the minute that I walked in that it was really warm and cozy. And then I just fell in love with the space. I really felt like it was ours, and it was really nice to spend that time with you.
Okay.
How about yourself? May I ask question number 2 for you? What were your first impressions of the house? Property?
Similar. I really like the property that they have here. It's a really cute community, especially the community center. It had like everything you'd need or want.
The Doug Fir Lodge?
Yeah. And then I was actually really surprised at the tiny house on just how spacious it is. I thought we would need something bigger, but if we couldn't afford to do something bigger, I could definitely see us making a floor plan like this work.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the Doug Fir Lodge had a lot of different things as well. A pool table, a nice little fireplace, table tennis, a little library, some couches, and they even had a laundry room as well. I mean, so...
And benches, if you needed to work from home and didn't want to do it in your tiny, you could just bring your stuff into the lodge and do it in the community center.
Exactly, yeah. It was really like a home community away from home, and that was wonderful.
How do you feel after your first night in the tiny? How did you sleep?
Oh boy, I was up and down the stairs. I'm not sure if it was the raindrops that kept me up last night. You know, tiny houses are incredible, but I felt like I felt every single shift in the house, and that was new to me, and that was okay. But yeah, I probably went to the bathroom 10 times throughout the night, and I certainly didn't mean to wake you up if I did, which I know I did each time. But yeah, I mean, nothing, that wasn't negative. It was just a new experience and had an open mind to it. And I'm not sure how you felt about it, but that mini split that they have was really nice. It was nice to have that motor. I like white noise. What were your thoughts on your overall sleeping experience? Did you like any of the mini split noises?
No, I did not like the mini split noises, and he knows I did not like the mini split noises. I don't do well with white noise, especially air conditioners or heaters, and it vibrated the tiny home the whole night.
It's happening again.
Yeah, like that. Um, but yeah, so that's something to consider. I don't know if it's an older model or just not installed properly, but hopefully not all tiny homes are like that because that might be a deal breaker for me. But otherwise, it was pleasant. The loft is really cute. It's pretty spacious. I thought it was a queen bed, but I think it's actually a full, so it was a little tight for the three of us, including Charlotte. And it would have been nice to have a little bit more headroom. You can kind of crouch, but you can't stand up all the way, so it was a little awkward to get down the stairs in the middle of the night. But otherwise, it was very cozy.
I have a question for you.
Okay.
In your next tiny house, do you have anything that you're going to be looking for, amenities or anything that you'll keep in mind? Like, do you have anything that you learned from this trip that you want to carry to our next adventure?
Um, Overnight stays, no, but I would like to find a tiny house that has full size closet and larger bathroom than the one here. This one was fine for like a getaway, but it would definitely get claustrophobic after a while. Same with, I really like that this tiny house, the windows are up high and kind of on the side so you don't feel exposed to everyone, but in the long term, I think it would feel a little cramped. So I think I would want one with at least one big window, probably in the living space.
Yeah, yeah, good point. And then I think you also mentioned previously that natural lighting is nice for long term, right? That great big window would be really nice to have. But for somebody that's staying here for like a weekend or maybe a 12-day stay, that privacy is really nice to have.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a nice little thing to note.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, overall, we've really had a great time. This was our first experience in a tiny home, and it was a really good one. And I think after this, I think we want to tour some local tiny home builders and see what they have to offer. But yeah, I think we're still gonna explore the possibility of sometime in the future going tiny. So we will see you next week, and hope you had a lovely weekend. And we'll bring you another tiny home adventure in the near future.
Thank you so much for being with us today.